What's up, everybody? Another wonderful Monday night at Chewin the BBQ Fat. Hope you're all having a great day. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. A lot of barbecuing going on this weekend. Man, I miss being out on the barbecue trail. Got 2 more weeks, and we will be at Brisket. So we finally get to cook again soon. I cannot wait. It's going to be a blast. Hopefully, I get to see a lot of you there. And if you are there and you see me, come say hello. Introduce yourself to me in person. Me and Ellen will be there. Can't wait. It's gonna be a blast. But man, what a weekend we've had. We were at baseball all weekend. Shocker. Just one kid this weekend. Micah played. What's going on, my man, Lee Hickle? I got a special guest on tonight. Hopefully, if he comes on soon. But it's going to be a heck of a night. But anyway, there he is. Micah had a great weekend playing baseball. Super proud of that little kid. Heck of a ball player. Just a great kid. So very proud of him. And like I say, we had a great weekend. We sure do miss barbecue. I'm actually going to send Micah with his coach next weekend while we're at Brisket. We're going to miss this tournament next weekend. But you know what? We've decided that we have got to get out and see everybody. Miss seeing y'all. Golly, I love barbecue, and I can't wait for tonight's discussion because I do believe I got one of the coolest guys in barbecue. One of the neatest things that he's got going on. We've discussed for the past 4 weeks or so, the past 4 shows. We've done roundtables on chicken, pork, brisket, ribs, all that, right? Well, tonight we're gonna do. Robert, you can't go to bed yet. You just made it to the pinnacle of the show, the introduction, and then me get to talk about how Wes Garrett's back. Holy smokes! I thought that guy forgot about the show. He hadn't been on in so long. Man, so good. What's going on, Strutting Smokers? Thank you for coming on. What's up, Kent? Golly, I love all y'all coming on and watching. Lee Hickle, thank you so much for coming on. Lee Hickle is the one that introduced me to Andy Lugo from Meat Hustler, and I'll bring him on in just a second. But before I do that, I've always said that I want to push barbecue contest. What's up, Hank Vaden? Wow, man, Philip, golly, we got the who's who of barbecue watching tonight. Thank y'all so much. But let me introduce Mark Porter again. He has got a contest coming up. I think it's soon, but that's right, Robert. He's going to heckle me. So if you can be there to be on my side tonight, that would be awesome. But anyway, thanks a lot. Mark, my man, hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for coming on. Look forward to hearing a little bit about your contest here tonight.
All right. Well, yeah, I'm doing halfway good now. This past weekend, my daughter had her wedding, so that's what I've had staring down my neck for the last year or so since she was engaged. But we finally got that done this past weekend. I'm ready to hit the road and do some cooking myself. But no, this weekend in Brookhaven, as everybody already knows, we've got Hog Wild coming up. So it'll be our 11th annual Hog Wild. Friday night's the SCA. Saturday, of course, is the barbecue. So we want any and everybody that's able to come down to come on down. Looks like we're going to have a good turnout. So everybody
How
get
many
on.
teams do you have signed up so far?
Sir?
How many teams do you have signed up so far?
We're at 32 now.
Nice. So a couple more and you're at the max or the max points, right? I think 35, maybe. I don't know.
I think you talking about as far as is it 25?
No. I'm talking about the max point.
Oh, okay.
For the point chasers. But anyway, shoot, you got a heck of a thing going right now. That's pretty awesome. Hank, you know what? As he was in the lobby coming on, he did light up 2 cigarettes smoking. So yeah, he might be right there in line with you. We're still counting that the cigarette count going on from that episode. What a great show that was. Well, Mark, how can people sign up for your contest?
Website, brookhavenhogwild.com. And when it pulls up, go to the top left corner of the page, 3 little bars, click on it. All our applications drop down for judging, cook teams. And we also have the judging classes coming up May the 21st that we had to postpone. So all your information to be on there. If not, there's a phone number on there, 601-757-1772. Give me a call.
There you go. Awesome. Well, I'll get Wes Garrett. Wes, will you please put that website in the comments, and I'll share it for everybody. Thank you so much. Marietta, Ohio, April 29th and 30th. Looking for more teams. We're at 20 teams. Need 25 plus to be qualified. Let me know by Wednesday. All right, there you go. Let me post that on here too. All right, Mark, man, I do appreciate it. Thank you so much for asking to come on. I love it. I hope you get as many teams as you can get in there and fill it up and have an incredible contest. I know you will. Everything I've ever heard, you put on a top-notch, first-class contest, and you run a great event. So thank you for what you do. Thank you for all that you're doing for barbecue, man. I sure do appreciate it.
Thank you. And we're too, but if everybody didn't know, this is actually our first year that we received the Smoking with Smithfield grant. So that's going to turn out and make it even better, I do believe. So we'll make sure everybody gets signed up and show up on Saturday and help us support these charities, please.
Sounds good. When can they show up? Can they show up on Thursday? What's the story?
Thursday night late. We will close our parking lots off where all the cookers will be. We'll close that off at 5 p.m. Thursday. So anytime after Thursday at 5 p.m., you can start showing up all day Friday.
Awesome.
Just be sure, like I told a couple today, make it there in time for you turn in, and I'm good with that.
Sounds awesome, Mark. Appreciate it. Thanks so much. Look forward to seeing you. And it's gonna be have a great contest. Can't wait to hear about it.
Have a good one.
You too, my man. Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Awesome. You know what? I love it. I love seeing contests do well. I love seeing all these contests coming up. I know there was a big one last weekend. A couple big. Golly, I look at the results. There was tons of them everywhere. Great to see. Anthony Minderman talk about the Hoosier Barbecue Classic. Man, I had a lot of people ask me to go up there and cook that one. I'd love to. Turkey smoke Friday night, rib burn, Franklin, Indiana Fairgrounds, supporting veterans. Awesome. Thank you so much. Mark looks like Dale Earnhardt. That's hilarious. All right. So as I said, Lee Hickle is on tonight. Lee Hickle, good friend of mine. He introduced me to our next guest, another first-time guest. I feel like we're broadening our horizon with some of the best people in the country in barbecue, and just bringing on whoever we can that is, big time in barbecue, and trying to get it out there so everybody can know about it. But the thing that has been so interesting, tried him out. He's great job. We've talked about brisket. We've talked about pork. We've talked about chicken. We've talked about ribs. We talked about all that. But one thing I want to talk about tonight is sourcing this stuff, right? Where do you get it? How do you know what to do? What's the best option? And shoot, I came across my new friend, Andy Lugo, with Meat Hustler. Andy, how you doing, man?
Good. How you doing, Brian?
Good. Thank you so much for coming on tonight. We've talked about this a little bit. Love having you on the show. And you graciously came on to talk about what you do in the barbecue world, and not just in the barbecue world, but what you do as a meat hustler. So as you know, you've heard me talk. We've talked brisket. We've talked all the 4 categories, had a little round table about all of them. So what I would like to talk to you about tonight is, what role do you have in the whole competition barbecue world? What are you offering? What are you supplying competition barbecue? And I think what it is absolutely amazing. But I want to give you a little pedestal to push what you're doing and have a great time. So introduce yourself if you don't mind.
Okay. Well, we're out here in San Antonio, and what we do is we try and provide and source competition meats, competition ready. We started off small with IBCA, and now IBCA, we've grown to CBA, and I've actually stretched out to KCBS. I'm very excited about that. But what we do is we try and find those competition meats, for the competition cook world, where we're picking for competition cookers. We're just not some people, sending out meats, and saying good luck. We want you to do well with what we provide. So the meats that we source and pick, you're probably already used to. We're just selling them a little bit more cheaper, for maybe our Snake River Gold or our Prairie Fresh. And what we do is we get them ready for the cooks, so that way there's not a big worry of, hopefully, they're picking the right meats, with thick flats, because, KCBS cookers out there like thicker flats, versus, smaller flats over here. We cut them different over here. And that's pretty much what we do.
Awesome. So you talk about Snake River. What kind of what brands are you carrying in? Let's talk brisket. What brands do you carry in brisket?
We carry a lot of the Snake River family brands itself, whether it's the Double R or the Snake River Golds. A lot of CAB. We sell a lot of CAB, but those are going to be our primes, which is certified Angus beef here in Texas. Prairie Fresh Natural. Every once in a while, I'm able to get some of the the primes, the Prairie Fresh primes. Those are high demand right now. The collar mussels, pork butts, anything any competitor is looking for, we'll source it out and find the best for them.
Okay.
Whether we think it's good or whether you want, a certain brand, we'll get it for you, without having to pay a premium price on it.
Nice. So in the pork world, you're mainly pushing the Prairie Fresh Naturals, correct?
And we have a new product with collar mussels that comes from what was the name of that brand? We carry so much. I'm sorry. Marble Falls. It's here in Texas. It's beautiful pork. It's got the right size money muscle on there with a little bit of extra muscle there, so that way you can turn in chunk if you want it.
That's the pork collars that you were talking about to me that you were going to send for me out, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, perfect. Can't wait. I love it. And then the ribs, you're doing the same thing.
We get them comp ready for you. It's better to bring in the full spares and us break them down in St. Louis. You get a bigger rib, more marbling, a little cheaper.
Yeah.
Especially on saving money on competitions nowadays.
Right. And then chicken. Let's talk chicken. And before I get into all the stuff that you're going to do, what about chicken? What kind of chicken are we getting here?
So the chickens we use are Holmes chickens. They're Texas birds, beautiful birds. It's a nightmare to get those done sometimes, especially when guys are ordering like 13 packs at a time.
So let's back up. I'm not sure everybody knows exactly what you do. When somebody calls and orders 16 chicken thighs from you, or a pack of chicken thighs, or a couple packs of chicken thighs, or they order ribs from you, or they order whatever, what exactly? So when I order my 16 chicken thigh packs from you, what should I expect, or what do I expect to get from a Meat Hustler chicken pack?
You're gonna get them boxed out, ready to go, trimmed up. We clean the skin as much as possible. We don't go overly aggressive on that, but we trim the bones. We square off the meat, take off some extra fat, wrap them, and get them shipped out ASAP.
So this is a pack of chicken that I get that is, I have 16 chicken thighs in there. They're pre-trimmed. The skin has been scraped a little bit. They're perfect little pillows coming in cryovac in a tray, foam tray, ready to cook. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. And that's just chicken thighs. I don't know because that's all I cook. But do you do anything with legs?
We do. We get the lefts and the rights separated. Typically, a tray will have a 12, 6 lefts and 6 rights, so that way in your box it looks presentable, real pretty, depending on how you present your box. Same with the ribs. If you were to order a 2-pack or a 3-pack of ribs, we'll send either all lefts or all rights, so that way they're uniformed, in your box nicely. Another way we try and help the teams out.
Right. So if I want just full spare ribs, you can sell me full spare ribs.
Yes, sir. And the only thing we'll ask is, if you're cooking full spare ribs, how many do you want in a pack? So that way we get them, all lefts or all rights of the animal. So that way, it helps you out.
Right. So that is amazing. And you can tell, somebody could tell you, hey, Andy, I would like for you to I want you to cut it right at the top of the bone, or I want you to leave me half an inch above the bone or something to make them longer. If they give you specs, you're going to trim their meat to the specs, correct?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Very picky like that. Well, we do it.
I know, right. And you know how us competition cooks are. We like to make everything as complicated as possible. Just seems like what we do. What about pork? So there's been a huge change in pork, right? We've had the new rules in pork, to the 4 pound, to some like the bone in, some want the bone out. What all do you do with the pork?
We'll do the traditional KCBS trim on there, where we remove the horn. We get them squared off. We pull off a little bit off of the money muscle, the collar muscle, the collar meat, and we'll get it vacuum sealed and ready for you, shipped out ASAP.
Now, if I want it deboned, kind of like a can cooker, do you do that also?
Yes, sir. That's typically how we send them out nowadays, deboned.
Yeah. Very
Now
interesting.
we typically charge for the full weight of the pork butt before we do anything to it. But if you want, we can ship that back to you, because we typically just discard it. Unless it's beef, we definitely send the beef back all the time, especially with the briskets.
So let me rephrase that, because I think people might have missed that. You trim the meat you'll trim the meat. You charge, which I believe is the right thing to do. You charge the pre-trimmed meat, right?
Mm-hmm.
So say I buy a 10-pound butt, you send it to me. You're going to charge me for that 10 pounds, but you go ahead and trim it like it would be I'm asking. And if I want the scraps to make sausage or whatever I'm going to do with it, you'll send that back, or you can leave it yourself.
Yeah, we won't save pork because I have too much to begin with. I just discard it, but I always prefer to send it back to our clients, because I'm big on saving money and not getting rid of good stuff.
Right, Lee. I'm getting there, Lee. Just hold on. So when we get to brisket, what all do you do to a brisket?
I weigh it out first. But with KCBS cooks, we typically give them the bigger briskets, because we're separating points and flat. Not a lot of teams are turning in points, unless you're, like I said, Philip Breeden, where he's just turning in beautiful points.
Straight up, no flat. No slices. That cat can turn in burn ends and win with burn ends. It's amazing.
It's crazy. Yeah, he does gorgeous boxes. But we get separated. We typically leave a 1/4 inch of fat on the bottom. We get them squared out, vacuum sealed. So you get your flat in one vacuum seal bag, and your point in another vacuum seal bag. And then whatever scraps are left over comes in another vacuum seal bag. And it all goes back to the client. Anything beef, we send back no matter what. And it's always comp ready, straight grain.
Perfect. Straight grain. There's that again. All right. So all of that being said, you're charging the normal price. You're doing what the customer wants. You're doing how much more should I expect to pay for you to trim the meat than just to get it shipped to me normal?
We don't charge for trimming. It's a service we provide for the cooks. It's something for us to help the sport out, grow, especially for newcomers coming into the sport and they're needing help. We're going to try and help them get there, trying to build a sport.
I love it. It's absolutely amazing. Y'all share the page, get this out there. This is awesome. I love it. For somebody like me, I have 2 kids playing 3 kids. 2 of them play baseball. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I have baseball practice. Every kid in my house has baseball. We have baseball practice every night of the week. Competition barbecue is tough for me because I don't have time really and truly to get everything ready. So for me, this is an absolute incredible experience because I can text you or call you and you'll get back with me and we get the order in and it's ready to go and you send me. So it's a great product. We'll get into the process in a second. But for somebody like me, it's an absolute perfect way to get my meat. You do charge shipping, which you've got to. But if somebody's weary of, I like to pick out my own stuff, or I want to do all this stuff, what is something that you could tell them to ease their mind on getting meat from you?
The best thing to do is give me a call. Give me your specs of what you're looking for. The one thing I say that we don't do is, we just don't pick and put in a box. We look for competition meat, not the first best or not the second best, but the first best, especially for the clients that don't have time because they have to work nights or days, long shifts, that's the service we provide for competitor. And the best thing, like I said, is always give me a call and we'll get your specs of what you're looking for.
Awesome. Anthony, I'm sure he probably does. Have you heard of the caddies, the brisket caddies?
I have. We trim to that size caddy now.
Okay, Anthony.
A lot of people call us, and so we have a measuring tool. I don't have a caddy. I've only got the specs of it, but teams have called and said, "Can you cut to this?" So that's what we cut to fit.
Yeah, there you go. So all you had, and you don't only cook to that caddy specs, right? If you're going to trim it, somebody says, "Hey, I want it, whatever. I want as wide as possible, or I want it narrow. I want this." You're going to do that for them, correct?
Yeah, I always recommend, let me send you the full size and width of that brisket, and then trim after injection to fit the caddy. It's way better that way.
There you go. Perfect. All right. So here's what I would like to get into now, right? Because how can people? Because I'm not sure everybody's heard of you, Lee. Like I said, Lee Hickle, an incredible guy, came to our class, taught ribs at the Atlanta Barbecue Store Classic class, and introduced our class to you. In that time, I've talked a lot about you. No, I've heard you say there's been a lot of teams have come to you from our area now, which I think is great. I hope that more and more people come to find out who you are tonight and we get you some more customers, because I think what you offer is absolutely incredible. David Goen wants to know, if I order today, when will they get to me? And I'm going to say something real quick, and you please respond. This isn't like a website like, hey, here's my order done. It's almost like you need to get to know you. They need to get to know you so you know what they want, and it's not a really quick process, right? I mean, you go ahead and explain it, but that's my take on it.
I prefer to have one-on-one conversations with people so that way we can know them and we can get them what they're expecting. Typically on orders, it's not a, I need this week. It takes time to do what we do, because I'll typically trim close to anywhere between 50 to 100 briskets a week, and that's not including the pork butts and the ribs. So
chicken.
Typically it's a 2-week notice that we get from most of the cooks and the clients. So that way we can pick out the best for them, and we're just not rushing out meat, just to fill up orders, That's not what we want to do. We want people to be successful with the product that we're providing for the clients, right, or the cooks.
Yeah. So, all right. So you're starting to see it's more of a personalized thing. How can somebody get in touch with you, or what is like a time? How do people get in touch with you?
Most teams just call me directly. If I don't answer right away, it's because I'm trimming away, and I don't like to stop when I get something rolling. Because, when you start trimming, you just got to keep going and you can't stop, especially when it's, repetitive thing, like, you're trimming a brisket and Typically takes me about 7 to 8 minutes to trim, vacuum seal, and get in the freezer ready to ship. Each brisket. But the best way to do is either call or you can find me at our website. Where you just leave a message and I'll get back with you as soon as possible at meathustler.shop.
Meathustler.shop. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Chris Schaefer's, I don't know if he's joking around, but pork steaks. Do you do it? Is pork steaks coming back around again?
I can get them. I don't sell a whole lot of them. It's something I probably won't stock for a while, but I mean, it's not a problem to go out and order a couple of cases.
There you go.
We carry more than just competition meats. We have stuff for the weekend. Steaks.
Right. I want to get into that in a second too, because that's what the next one. Does it make it easier to have customers' competition schedule for the year? Chad
it
Stewart.
does. It does. Chad's. I'm sorry, I can't say names, but there's a lot of. Oh, is he? That's that Chad Stewart?
Yeah, Chad Stewart asked. Yes.
I just got his email last week for his. We had a little problem with our phone, and we lost a lot of information. But I got his email, and I got his, and guys like Paul Holden, and Paul has a lot of competitions coming.
Paul's a great guy.
Yeah,
another local guy.
I just sent out his order this afternoon.
Awesome.
Paul's coming.
Memphis in May, yeah, man. He's Paul. That's coming. There you go. Yeah, Lee Hickle says order 3 comps at a time. Great idea. And Bill Purvis is on it. Man, that guy's amazing.
Yeah, Bill's on a roll lately.
So, all right. So we've talked about that. So the best way to get in touch with you is look you up on Meat Hustler, and you see his name on here, Meat Hustler, not Hustler. It was 2 S's, not a T in there.
No T.
Right?
Yes. No T.
Meat Hustler .shop. Is that it? You said?
Yes. .shop. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then your phone number's on there. Call, reach out. You said email. Is there an email way to get in touch with you through email, or is that?
Or my email is meathustler@meathustler.com. Okay,
perfect. And hopefully you can come back in and put some comments in to let people know where they are once we're done tonight. Yes. Chad said mine too, right? Have you seen, Anthony Minderman wants to know if you've seen any major issues with shipping delays, especially with the climate that we're in with ground shipping. Have you had any issues with shipping?
The only problems we've had with shipping was just recently they opened up some of our boxes because they thought things were in there they weren't supposed to be in there, and
what happened to me?
Yeah, it was a nightmare, let me tell you. But other than that, we haven't had much issues. We try and keep it, as simple as possible with shipping with UPS. Or, if you want FedEx, we can do that too.
Perfect. So if somebody has a FedEx number or UPS number, they can give it to you and they can pay for their own shipping.
Yep.
Awesome. So that goes over competition. What else do you do as a meat hustler? I know you do more than just competition meat, because I know Lee Hickle was talking about prime rib. I think he ordered a bunch of prime rib or something for.
We'll bring in whole ribeye loins. Anything anybody wants, we'll typically get it, or we have it already. Tenderloins, ribeyes, New York strips, outside skirts, which is the biggest seller right now. Everybody loves a good outside skirt, whether it's Wagyu or Angus.
So same thing. You tell them, they tell you what you want, what your specs are for you'll do the whole butter, the whole prime rib, or you'll cut them into steaks for you.
We'll cut them into steaks, and typically we try and send out the chuck end instead of the loin end of like certain cuts, so that way there's more spinalis or better fat. We're pretty picky like that.
Right.
And then what we don't sell, we typically donate to the kids' queues down here.
Nice. That's great. Love it. Your compound butter is amazing. Tell me a little bit about this compound butter that Lee Hickle's talking about.
It's pretty simple. Truffle, salt, pepper, garlic.
Compound butter.
Yeah, pretty simple stuff. I was actually talking to Lee a while ago. We're talking about the simplicity of cooking because sometimes simplicity is just the best.
Right.
It goes a long way.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Richard Crow asked, from Texas to Georgia, how many days before you receive it?
Going out to Georgia?
Yeah.
That's about a 3 to 4 day ship. If we need to, we'll rush it out there ASAP. I like to get orders out the week before that far, out of state, but sometimes, it's sort of hard because we get caught up with so much, orders, and we try and fill out everything. I'm not a big, I don't say no or I can't kind of guy. I try and say yes to everybody all the time.
Right. And if you need to, you can overnight it or whatever. It just costs a little bit more money to get it shipped to you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. To me, if you're spending that much money, it's worth spending a little bit more money on the shipping to get it there over time. But anyway, that's just me. How much commission does Lee Hickle receive? Man, I tell you what, Lee Hickle deserves commission for for everything people sell in barbecue. I think he's got his hand in something. The guy's amazing. Do you trim out the money muscle on the pork butt?
I can, but now with, since we sell the collar muscles, we don't have to do much trimming. It's pretty much there. But if you were to order a whole pork butt, yeah, I'll pull that money muscle out, so that way where to cut,
Perfect.
I'll even pick up the phone and call you and say, hey, after so long, cut it right here and get it wrapped up,
That's awesome. So, Rob, I'm going to get to that next too. So, Lee, I was kidding. Lee does not get anything. Lee is a great guy. Never asks for anything. And just is willing to really help out people a lot. I know he really believes in you, and he told that to me, and that's one thing that I've learned, and I've grown to know you and appreciate you, and it's two great guys here in barbecue. I love it. It just makes practicing so much easier with limited time, for sure. I mean, I am not nearly as nervous about Pussyq coming up next weekend because the meat's already trimmed, ready to go. It's awesome. I mean, it's a great deal. I love it. I highly recommend it. But like I say, make sure you get in touch with Andy himself. Don't just think that it's going to be something like, hey, I'm going to email him and get an order shipped out to me tomorrow and it's going to be done. Right. I mean, I think it's like a craft, right? Like what you're doing is something, it's a craft thing that you're doing. It's not just, you're not just pushing out tons of product. You're really you are sending out a lot of product, but what you're sending out is specialized for your clients. And you're really trying to make it right for them. Correct?
Yeah.
Awesome.
That one-on-one is really important for us.
It really is. And I would almost suggest don't do anything until you have that one-on-one with Andy, and then you can get started. Like, don't just make sure that you get in touch with him. Right. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because, all right. So now Rob started talking about you as a competitor. All right. So you cook barbecue, you're going back, you went to the Houston rodeo, you did right. So let's talk about a little bit about you as a barbecue competitor now on the other side of this. So tell us a little bit about you and the barbecue world.
I've been cooking for a good while now. Brisket is my forte, of course. We're actually, Lee and I were having this conversation. I've walked in brisket for the last 4 years. I've never not walked in brisket.
Wow.
We did good at rodeo. Before COVID, my first rodeo, Houston, I was able to tie. I think it was a 3-way tie between Fred and Philip and I for a third place, which, just tying with those guys is something else.
Oh yeah.
And I've been able to walk, several times at the San Antonio rodeo with our brisket and our ribs, which I'm always happy. That's awesome. A lot of walks with our brisket. But yeah, I love competing. Whenever I can do it, I'll do it. Lately, I spend a lot of time on my weekend, working to fill out orders because that's important to me right now. Is filling those orders and getting our brand out there, our small company.
So is this how long have you been doing this?
As a, I'm actually I'm a certified executive chef. I'm just really good with a knife. And that's what I went to school for, was to be a chef. So most of my life I've been a chef,
Okay.
but I started at a little meat market here in San Antonio. And when I left, I had like maybe 13, 14 orders that needed to be filled. And that started that. That was about 5 years ago. And those orders doubled and doubled and doubled. And I couldn't stop. People are depending on us.
That is awesome. It's the way a small business starts and goes, and hopefully it continues to do and grow and continue to do wonderful things. Where do you see Meat Hustler, the future of Meat Hustler?
I don't know. That's a hard question, man. I'm happy every day where we're at. I don't mind being a small business owner. It makes it more personal with me and the cooks. The competition cooks. Those little tiny orders they send me. It's a big deal to me because I'm now a part of their team. They just don't know it. And I don't mind picking up that phone and saying, hey, like, maybe if you cook it this way or that way, it'll help you with a win or a walk, And that's where I see it right now. It's a day by day thing for me. I love it. I'm happy to wake up and do it.
It's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's incredible. Well, great. So it seems like everything is right in line where you want it to be going, and that's what you want. I mean, that's something that you gotta love it, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Bill Purvis, he's an amazing chef and surgical with the knife.
Thanks, Bill.
Bill's it's one thing to see. I mean, I've gotten to know a lot of these Texas guys, including you. Everybody sticks together. Y'all are a great group. Really willing to help anybody in the sport, and most people are. That's one thing that we do. What I've noticed on the show, most people are willing to help, and if all it takes is just reaching out and asking a question.
Yeah.
So once again, for those just coming in or coming out, whatever, what is the easiest way for somebody to get in touch with you if they want to get product that they don't have to worry about trimming for that contest they got coming up?
Meathustler.shop. My number's on there. Feel free to give me a call anytime. I typically answer that phone. I try to anyway, unless it's the time between 10 and 1 where I'm just trimming away and I cannot stop.
Right.
Very addictive.
If somebody doesn't get you the first time, try again.
Or leave a message. I'll call you back regardless. Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. Man, Lee, I think you're getting as much out of this as anybody tonight. It's awesome. I think it's really cool to see how many, I don't want any names. How many clients do you think you have right now?
Let me tell you.
Oh, wow.
It says here 8,000.
Holy shnikes.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Or 15. Well, yeah. There you go.
But they don't order every week. Not every cook is out there. But I mean,
goodness, right?
I have shipped all over the place, so that Alaska, Canada, a lot takes. That's a lot of them too.
That's awesome. Chris Schaefer asked, I think I know the answer, but I'm gonna let you do it. Can a cook just get a flat from you and you keep the point and trimmings?
I have to sell the whole brisket, or every ounce counts in the meat business. Every ounce counts.
So the answer is yes.
Yes, I can keep it for you, but I'm going to charge you the full
But you're going to charge for the full price of the brisket.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, and I think that's fair. Do you prefer call or text?
When we get started the first time, it's good to have that one-on-one. But after that, you can text me, and I'll get back with you. Everybody has to work. Especially my clients. They have real jobs. I'm here just trimming meat. But the first time, it's always good to call. And then after that, just text me your order, and we'll get it in the books.
Great. Chuck East is on. He's at Georgia Cook, leading the points in GBA. Which in GBA we do loin, butts, and ribs. Do you do any of that kind of stuff? Or do you sell loins?
I can't. I mean, I'm always willing to try, and I'm up for the task.
Yeah.
All I need is specs of what they're looking for, and then we'll do the rest.
Perfect.
There ain't nothing I can't do with a knife.
That sounds awesome. I think it's cool. I think I've got some ribs and pork collars coming. And I can't wait to get them and see what we've got going on. Do you prefer to trim half chickens or pieces? Get them and see what we've got going on. Robert Roach wants to know.
Robert Roach. I haven't done any Texas birds for the the IBCA and the CBA cooks in a while because those chicken thighs sometimes just it takes a while to knock out 25 packs. That's a full day of work for me sometimes.
It's a lot of chicken.
It really is.
I've got plenty now, so I'm good to go. You know what it does? It makes you feel really good. It's like, golly, I've got chicken under control. You just having chicken trimmed really, really makes it. He said, got it. LOL. Well, good. Anybody out there have any questions for Andy while we've got him on tonight? I mean, this is your opportunity to get in touch with him, to ask him and find out what you need to know and see if you can't become customer 8001. Who knows, whatever it is. And I don't know. I'm just, one reason I wanted you to come on tonight. I appreciate what you offer. For people like me, and then there's a lot of people out there. I know you helped Lee a lot when he was traveling all over the country on his East Coast tour last year. He knew that he could just get it from you. He knew it was coming, and it was there. Brian Payne wants to know, what brand ribs do you have? I know you said Prairie Fresh. What else do you have?
I typically only deal with Prairie Fresh. I'm nothing against Smithfield, nothing at all. Just I'm more a Prairie Fresh guy. I think that the quality of pork is there, especially their full spares. Typically naturals are what I bring in. Those primes are expensive.
Yeah, they are. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and ask. You don't have to answer if you don't want to. Jordan Kirkpatrick just said, just finished chicken trim, and I'd gladly pay to not have to do it again next week. If somebody wants chicken, what should they expect to pay for a pack of chicken?
$25.
$25 for 16 trimmed chicken thighs.
14.
I'm sorry. How much for legs?
It's the same price, and I think you get 12 legs. It's 12, 6 and 6, 6 lefts and 6 rights.
Okay, so for $25, you have enough chicken trimmed for a contest. Whatever, that's up to y'all.
And I wasn't even doing lefts and rights. Lee was always asking for it, so it just stuck that way to where I'm just gonna send out lefts and rights from now on. So, which you
got to now is Lee. I don't know what you're cooking. I don't even know if he's cooking KCBS anymore. I know he's going back to a lot of the Texas stuff, so I don't know. I guess he's cooking. That's right, Chris. I guess he's cooking a lot of the half chickens again. He said his prices are lower than Snake River for Snake River Farms website. I don't know. You tell me. I don't know. I don't want to get into prices. That's up to you. If you want to get into prices,
I'm still at $10.25 a pound. I haven't changed my prices. It's a little bit cheaper than Snake River.
So $10.25 for a trimmed brisket.
Ready to go.
Wow. Okay. It's pretty awesome. And you get to keep all of the scraps, trimmings.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. To me, sounds like a heck of a deal. Andy's service allows me to do what I love, that is invaluable. The briskets are always amazingly trimmed. Thank you, sir. Yeah, Justin, Chris likes to do that. That's just what he does. We love Chris, and that's why we love him. He said, I guess I screwed up and said they were getting 16 for $25, so it's 14. I messed that up. That's just me. Yeah. Yeah, Brian, Jordan, if anybody needs a new truck, get in touch with Jordan. So anyway, all right. So Andy, is there anything else that I've missed that you would like to talk about what you've got going on?
I think you covered it all, man. Well,
Okay, good. I do appreciate it. I'd love for you to see if you can't put something on there so people can get in there. Once again, meathustler.shop is the website to go to. Did you say your email was? I forgot what you said it was.
it's Meat Hustler at meathustler.com.
Meathustler at meathustler.com. Easy way to get in touch with him. You go to the website. His phone number's on there. Call him, text him. He'll get in touch with you. His name is Andy Lugo, in case you missed it here on the I guess they could call you Meat Hustler if they wanted to, and you answered.
Yeah, Andy's good.
There you go. Awesome. Well, I do appreciate it. I hope everybody has an opportunity to at least get in touch with you, reach out. It might not be for everybody. I know a lot of people they still like to pick out what they do on their own, but I just wanted to give everybody an opportunity to know what options are out there for you if you're somebody like myself who doesn't have time to go through all that.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Well, good. It looks like you just got orders coming in right and left. It's just where you go. Maybe a dumb question, but what do you do when you cut open a brisket for a customer and it sucks?
What do we do with them? So I like to look at the briskets before we send them out, regardless. So even if you were to order a Snake River Gold from us, we're going to open it up and look at it because we don't want to send a brisket that's gashed out, unless I really know it's good. I know I sent you a brisket just recently, and I checked it left and right because that was actually my brisket.
I wasn't going to say anything.
Yeah.
To answer your question, Chris, he called me in the middle of trimming a brisket and said, "Hey, I've got a brisket. It's not good enough. I'm going to send you another brisket." Now you didn't trim it because I needed it to get to me. So, but he gave me another brisket that he's looked at and gone through, and it's absolutely amazing. So if he goes through it, it doesn't meet what he thinks is a good enough for his customer to have, takes it out and starts over. Right? I'm sure you do something with that brisket. Hopefully you make something.
Oh yeah, we'll push it into if we have caterings coming up, we'll push those in there for those clients that we're doing caterings for. Or we'll cook them and ship them out for people that need them for gifts wherever they're going.
So I could buy cooked meat from you also for like if I'm catering something or doing something like that.
Oh yeah, we'll send it out. Sliced or unsliced. Vacuum sealed, wrapped up, ready to reheat.
Now don't tell that to Wes Garrett. His ears just perked up. Thinking he doesn't have to cook anymore. He can just turn that in a box. I know how Wes works. Oh me. But anyway. Well, awesome, man. I do appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Brian, how do you turn in bacon and pork with pork collars? Well, Tom, I don't just cook.
There's not a whole lot of bacon on, just the collar meat. Unfortunately, it's mostly just collar.
I still cook my pork butt the same. I still do the little competition. What's it called? I still do my normal pork that you saw, Tom. I'm just going to incorporate a couple pork collars into it because I can fit them on the drum and have more options. That's me. Very carefully. That's right, Chris. I do appreciate it. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Andy. Y'all, I hope if you'll stay on for just 1 second, I'm going to talk to you and then I'll let you go. But I hope everybody has a wonderful night. Hope you learned something tonight. Go back, watch the show, share the show, get it out there to as many people as we can so that people can find Andy and utilize this incredible service that he's offering at an incredible price. Incredible. Awesome. Y'all have a wonderful night, and we will see you next week on Chewin the BBQ Fat. Thanks a lot, guys.